Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Happy Tuesday night. Y'all, I got off work and I went and ran an errand for my mama, even though she's like 800 and something miles away. But she asked me to do something for her and I did it. But as soon as I was done doing that, I went to the movies to go and see Bad Boys for Life. Y'all, I meant to go and see it opening weekend, but I actually kept trying to coordinate some stuff with some of my friends and it just wasn't working out. And also, when I would plan to just do it on my own and see if, somebody would randomly just want to pop up, and that actually happens from time to time too, I just got in my feelings and was like, I'll go another day. So that's what happened. I ended up procrastinating. But at least I got it in now because I was like, I really want to see it before the end of this month. So I'm just glad that I was finally able to see it. So yeah, y'all. Hope y'all have been having a wonderful day. Y'all, it's cold here. It is actually cold here. And I'm just like, Lord. And that's another thing. I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Because that's one thing I don't like. I would rather hurry up and go in the mornings, whenever morning showings, are available, like on the weekends if I'm going to go on the weekend. And, stuff like that. But lately, the earliest they've been having any showings have been like 12 something in one or whatever. But y'all, anyway, so this movie was amazing. At least it was amazing to me. I have not heard anybody say anything crazy about it, anything out of the way to where I would need to side eye them and be like, what were you watching? So I'm actually glad about that. But Bad Boys for Life, it was really, really good. So this is basically going to be full of some spoilers and, things that I wanted to highlight that I thought were interesting or, it caught my attention and I really liked about the movie. So the gist of this movie was, after like 25 years, almost 25 years of Martin Lawrence's character, Marcus, and Will Smith's character, Mike Lowry. Marcus wants to retire, and Mike, he's still playing the field, still a bachelor. He still, even though he's clearly older, he want to act like he still got it like that, even though, the women were still here for him for the most part. But it just ain't what it was like when we first saw the initial movie that prompted all of this. So yeah, y'all. I think I did see a trailer for this. So when I started to see more as far as what happened, I was like, wait a minute, excuse me? Y'all, Mike's character is being targeted. And there is a person or two who wants him dead. And they want him to suffer before he then is the last person to get killed. So we eventually find out that there is this woman who he had a romantic relationship with while he was undercover, when he was fresh from the academy, before he even met up with Marcus. And he was in a undercover operation. They gave him another name, all this other stuff. Y'all, the woman who he was with, she is into some things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever heard of that Jadena song, Sufi Woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm only saying this because some people might not have ever heard of this before. But if you've ever heard that song, which I do like that song, there's a part in there where he's, singing and he says, La Bruja, she could die. Yeah, La Bruja. So this woman is a witch. And in all essence, he actually admits that this woman created the person who we see. You know what I'm saying? They refer to him as bulletproof and all this other stuff. Like, you all know he was really into like speeding, high chase, all that stuff, high speed chase stuff. So the movie even started out like that, and of course, Martin Lawrence's character is still acting as if he don't know how his partner is. You done been around this man for 20-something years, worked with this man for 20-something years. You know how he drive. You should be used to it by now. He ain't killed you yet. Just go ahead and be used to it by now. Goodness gracious. So anyway, like I was saying, he met up with this woman, and she actually was someone who he was driving for, and she had a husband, and they would talk. They ended up having this connection. They were actually planning to run away, and something came over him. I don't know what it is, but something came over him, and he chose to, err on the side of right, and he ended up doing what he needed to do, and he had her locked up. So this woman had been locked up for almost 25 years. There's a twist that happens. Apparently, had they actually ran off together, she was going to reveal to him as a surprise that she was pregnant. And the person who ultimately is gunning for him throughout this whole movie is her son, aka his son as well. So it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Because like when things started coming out, I was like, okay, why is this significant? And then it started getting closer to them finally kind of revealing to us things that should make something go off in our minds. Like, okay, let's connect the dots. Then I was like, I know not. Ain't no way he just slipped up and he got somebody pregnant. Ain't no way. But he did. And it's crazy because she actually is the only woman out of all the women he's been with that he actually fell for. This was the first and only woman he'd ever loved and been in love with. And I'm just like, a witch of all people? A witch. This woman really is like heavy off into this stuff. And she is a stone cold killer. Like, she is like very, very dangerous. So apparently she is being transferred, and every time you look around, everybody all around her is getting killed. One of the areas that she was in, actually, she was in this place, and there was a lot of women around, and somehow she has this big knife that she just pulls out. I'm like, how? Okay, but anyway, Steven Spielberg. Who was it? Did it say Steven Spielberg or Jerry Bruckheimer? Whoever it was, because I saw a name and I was like, okay, that came up when the movie was coming on. Y'all done went off. But anyway, she killing the guards. She killing all these people up in here. Then she gets transferred, and in the middle of her being transferred, other people are getting killed. People who are driving ambulances are getting killed. And she gets broken out, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking this is gonna be her love interest, but it ends up being her son. So I'm like, Lord, okay, how is this gonna connect? And then that's how it connects. And I'm like, really? Y'all, tell me why Marcus and Mike are in a high-speed type of situation, and I'm just like, what is going on? And like the police are like looking at them like, okay, what is going on here? Because Mike was in his luxurious Porsche, and we all try to figure out, okay, where they going? I mean, they running. They doing the most. They finally running, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Marcus has become a grandfather. And that's what they were doing that whole time. They were trying to make it to the hospital because his daughter was giving birth to his first grandchild. So I was like, oh, and that baby made him turn into like such a crybaby. It was amazing to see him. They named the baby after him. I mean, the boy who we saw in the original movie was the same boy that she dated. And they actually aren't married, and so he's in his feelings about that. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm still expecting you to make an honest woman out of my daughter." And actually, 6 months after that, he did, and he married her. And y'all, before that happened, the same day that they were rushing to get to the hospital, they ended up having a foot race. Marcus tried to say that, he tried to read. He tried to read and get at Mike's character, and he said that, you're a little slow. You know what I'm saying? I beat you when we were running up them steps and all this other stuff trying to get to my daughter. So he was like, are you serious? So basically, like I told y'all earlier, he is trying to retire. And so he ain't trying to hear all of that. So he's betting him, like, if I win, we both gonna, put it all away, be done, shut it down. Everything is over with. Bad Boys is done for life. It's done. And so Mike is like, okay, well, when I win, what's gonna happen is, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna never stop. We're gonna do this till the wheels fall off. So they actually are in a foot race. Their captain is there, and he looking at them like, all right, now, what we not finna do is this. Y'all gambling with the future like this? Like, of course he ain't trying to hear that. Y'all, of course Mike wins. And while he's in the midst of kind of celebrating, he sees this guy on a motorcycle, all black. Everything is blacked out. Everything is black. Everything he got on is black. Leather riding suit, all that. They shoot him up. And I'm just like, what we not finna do with what y'all doing at the beginning of the movie? They shot him up. So I'm like, oh, y'all killing him? Y'all really finna do this? Like, I understand that y'all want stuff to end or whatever y'all trying to do, but y'all doing the most. Like, they was tearing my nerves down already in the beginning. I don't even think 30 minutes had passed by and they just shot him up. So then while he's trying to recover and everybody's hoping he pulls through, Marcus then went into the chapel and he praying to God, and he was like, God, I know I ain't seen you in a while. And I mean, he crying down. They really are like brothers. Like, his child considers him to be her uncle. And I think he is the godfather of the child. Like, I mean, they are like brothers, like for real. And I was just like, all right, now he done went all the way off. He praying to God. He talking about, I know I ain't been to church in a while, but it's mainly because of the things that I was doing, and I knew they weren't right, because he actually wants to live the right life and abide by what the word says, which is thou shalt not kill. So he just felt like so many sins were committed against him that there was no reason for him to show up to church. So he was like, if you bring him through, I promise we will not bring any more violence into this world. So, like I told y'all a few minutes ago, his daughter ended up getting married, Marcus's daughter. And Mike is there, and he ends up doing a speech, and he's in a wheelchair, and then he proceeds to get out of the wheelchair. Everybody is amazed that he's walking and all this. Like, he's recovered. So, what y'all don't know, if you haven't seen the movie, is the woman who he used to live for, she gave the son strict instructions to kill a certain group of people and then kill him. Well, he felt like, let me cut all of them out, because, I mean, what's the point? Why I gotta do all that? And I'm already over here, because she's like somewhere in Mexico and he's over here in the States, and he's trying to, he's actually trying to get his mama actually got a drive that was in an urn or whatever, some jar, vase or whatever, if it wasn't an urn of some sort, that his father's ashes were in. And it just turned out to be her husband's ashes. But anyway, and what he has to do is use the coordinates to find the money and all this other stuff. So a situation went down, and he had some people that they ended up outsourcing to help find the stuff. They were supposed to get a cut of the stuff, and he was supposed to bring the majority of it to his mama, and they were going to do all kinds of things they needed to do with the money and to show people you don't mess with this family and you tried the wrong family and all this other stuff. So this person tried to get over on them. He's a beast. Let's just say he's Mike Lowrey to the max. Because this boy is 24 years old. Like, he is Mike Lowrey. Except he is half Spanish, half black. Like, setting it all the way off. And I was just like, wow. Yeah, but like I said, we find that out later on that, that's his son and all that. Y'all, anyway, it was really, really good. It got to the point where, since he didn't know who was doing all this, who was targeting him, it got to a point where the boy, he wants to be defiant against his mama because she keeps telling him, I told you to wait. And then when they found out that he was recovering and he never passed away, she was like, we need him to suffer, whatever. So he and his feelings, and he ends up posting a video that came from a video that he basically filmed from himself. I guess he had a body cam somewhere on himself when he was on his bike and he shot his daddy up. So he ended up uploading it to the dark net. And of course, when that happens, depending on what it is, no matter where it resurfaced from, no matter how long ago it was, it's going to spread like wildfire. And that's what happened in his case. And he's, trying to nurse himself back to health, and he's seeing this. And so everybody's telling him to leave it alone, all this other stuff. And at that point, he was going to leave it alone. And then he did this. So in his mind, he kind of feel like he's being taunted. And it's like, you're really trying me. That's kind of like how he's feeling in the moment. And he's like, nah, I was going to let it go, but you over here trying me. So I got to figure out who these people are. They're trying to figure out the people who made the bullets. And of course, this is one of those stories that happens all the time where people are making bullets that will penetrate anybody, everybody, no matter what. So, they trace the bullets, and, this woman who he actually used to date, she is the head of this task force. That's what I want to call it. And it's called AMMO. And I mean, it's fitting, but, it actually has, the acronym is there for a reason, but at the same time, it still fits the purpose. So, y'all, all while he was down and out, because I think he was like kind of in a coma or whatever, or just trying to heal. No, he was in a coma because, y'all, Marcus, he really needs glasses, and he needs to wear his glasses. Like I have, y'all, I'm blind, but I mean, I can see myself right here doing this, like very clearly. But if I had to look across the room, like if I had to look over there at the TV, oh no, I wouldn't be able to tell y'all what was going on. I might, if it was big enough, I might be able to tell you, but I would not be able to see as clear as I can see right now. All throughout the movie, Mike kept telling Marcus that he needed to put his glasses on, because that's how blind he is. And I'm like, sir, you're a grandfather, like, and you can't see? Like, you ain't helping nobody. Like, you gotta stop. Like, ain't nobody got. And then he be having her to drive without glasses on, all this other stuff. Y'all, I'm tired. So, let me see. How else I want to put it? Y'all, it was just to the point where it was like, okay, this is too much going on. You need to put your glasses on. And for him to try to help in certain situations, he would not be able to see. And it's like, didn't I tell you to put your glasses on? I mean, that was a part of, that was like one of the main things that was said throughout the movie. That was kind of like a part of the comedic side of it. It was hilarious, y'all. So, to make a long story short, they eventually get to a point where, they find out who is the supplier, who's making them, all this other stuff. And he eventually realizes that it's this woman. He didn't know at first. So, like, at the beginning of the movie, he says something, and it was a random word, something fuego. And I was like, huh? And it was just weird. And I was like, okay, I ain't paying no attention at first. So then when it was time for Mike to get killed, the mama ended up telling the son, make sure you tell him something fuego before you kill him. So they are in a situation and he has him where he wants him and he is about to try to kill him, and he says those words to him. And he looking like, and then, a situation happens where he, avoids death, thank goodness. But he goes back into where the task force is before it actually is ultimately shut down. And he realizes who the target is, because he's really trying to figure out who the guy is. And then he hacks into the phone. I mean, all this stuff happens. He took the phone from this guy who was the seller, the maker, or whatever he was of the bullets. And he ended up getting killed because he was literally in the way of why that boy was trying to kill him. So every time he kept trying to move to make him, the boy was just like, okay, you in the way. He just killed him. And I mean, he got so much stuff done for him. And I was like, wow, that's tragic. But you lay down with dogs, you're bound to get up with fleas. So, y'all, once he heard that, he knew what it was. So he ended up using one of the people from the task force to go through the phone and look at the phone records, and he got his confirmation that it was that woman. I think her name was Isabella or something like that. Anyway, y'all, ended up flying to some part of Mexico, and he met up with her in this old abandoned hotel that, to me, if you play video games, to me it resembles one of these rooms that I've seen in Uncharted. One of the Uncharteds. I don't remember if it was Uncharted 2 or 3. But, a lot of places over there and other foreign countries, the architecture is, a little bit intricate or whatever. Or it's so rustic and nice that, it looks like that. So I don't know, but that room really looked like one of those random rooms that you have to go in when you're playing Uncharted video games. So anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. And I want to play some video games right now, but I'm not. But yeah, they met, they talked. Nobody knows where the son is at the moment, so they're talking, and he's trying to get answers. And this is when she explains that, yeah, that's your son. And I was going to tell you once we ran away, but, that didn't happen. And he ended up locking her away. She had done a lot of stuff. She had no business doing. She was a criminal. She was a cold-blooded killer, all that. So she went here for that. Eventually, it got to the point where his backup, which includes Marcus and the task force that I like to call Ammo, they all bust in. I mean, it's a bit of shootout. And y'all, when I tell y'all, my heart, they told my nerves up again, because there was a scene where the mother and the son were trying to get away, and they just start kind of doing a winding staircase type of run, but it was just the way the building was. So they were trying to get up to the skylight, as close as they could to the skylight, where a helicopter was kind of looming over. Y'all, all I thought about was Kobe Bryant, because literally what happened to him that I saw in that video happened in this movie. So none of them, got hurt or killed or whatever, but it all ended up, the reason why it even went down in the first place, as far as this is concerned, is because Marcus sat up here and finally put his glasses on. He finally put his glasses on, so he over here killing people point blank like he should be able to do. Because, if he had his glasses on or had some contacts in, y'all, Mike kept telling him, shoot the rotor out. What did he say, the rotors? He said, shoot the rotors out or shoot something out. He over here told him, no, I'm going to shoot the pilot. He was like, no, don't shoot the pilot, shoot the rotors out. This fool finally shoot the pilot, and he happy he shot the pilot. And I'm like, why would you do that? Even I know that you don't need to shoot the pilot, because what happened? The helicopter went down, came straight down where they were, and yeah, it was a mess. So, y'all, and like I said, exactly what happened. And that fiery helicopter accident is what happened in this movie. So, of course, the building is now unstable. All this stuff is going on. Everybody's going to have to get out of the building. So, people are fighting left and right. People who are part of the task force are fighting the other people who are bad people. Of course, they have henchmen and, all that. Y'all, some of the stuff that I was tied in my spirit about when that happened was like, there were moments when some of the people from the task force were shooting the other people, the bad guys, right? So somebody would slide and then like have a automatic weapon and like shoot like 50 bullets into this one person. And I'm just like, why? This is why stuff like that tear my nerves down. I'm just like, why? I would understand if this was like Uncharted, what was it, 2 and 3 maybe, where you would have to actually shoot the armor off because they have like 2 or 3 layers of protection in the form of armor, and you would have to break it apart by doing that. I would understand that if that's what was happening, but it wasn't. These were just random people who had on, some people had on bulletproof vests, or everybody did, but they were literally going up in between their legs where there was no protection. So I'm like, why are you spraying all these bullets and wait? Y'all, I'm sorry. Stuff like that had my nerves down, so I'm sorry. I had to address that. But anyway, y'all, it gets to the point where Mike makes it up to the son, and he actually makes it up to the mama. And, he trying to tell her that she need to put her hands up and all this other stuff. She ain't trying to hear that. Y'all, the son is on the underneath him, because like I said, the building is like about to collapse. Y'all, he's up underneath him, like on the lower level. He done reached through the floor and pulled him down. So him and his son are fighting. And he already told Marcus on the way up there, he was like, yeah, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to put him in a bag. And they were on a plane talking like this, like it ain't nothing. Y'all tell me why. Tell me why. Marcus said, we fly together, we die together. He said that loud. And everybody as soon as he said that, I did this, the people on the plane was looking at him like everybody was tired. But yeah, all kinds of stuff like that kept happening. So he was actually in the middle of choking his son out, and he was, losing consciousness. And then, it's like something came over him, because Marcus, earlier in the day, he kept trying to talk to him on the flight over there, like, hey, you need to talk to this person and try to penetrate them through their soul, using your soul or something like that. Anyway, trying to talk to him and whatever. Y'all, he trying to do that in that moment with him, and Marcus was even like, yeah, I was going through something earlier, and we don't need to do that. And tell me why his ex was sitting up there taking like stuff, and she was cutting and stabbing Marcus up. I thought Marcus was gonna die. Like, she did the most to him. I was like, oh my gosh, no, y'all. Got to a point where the other woman who was a part of the ammo team, who was like over that before they, discontinued it and, was like, it's no more. She bust up from wherever she came from, and she shot that heifer up something terrible. Then she fell to her death into the firiness and all that good stuff. She's a witch, so in my mind, I'm like, well, she should be dead now since she a witch. They don't play that when it comes to witches. You got to be burned up. Ain't nobody got time. So, y'all, tell me why the mama, before all this stuff happened to her, she was like trying to end everything. She tried to shoot and kill Mike, but the son just in a normal motion turned and he got shot. And she looking mortified like, wait a minute, I ain't mean to do that. And so she real mad and was as soon as she was about to really try to come at Mike, that's when the woman who, wants him came out of nowhere and shot that woman up. So anyway, y'all, the son bleeding out and he going through. Y'all, Marcus over here about to get killed and dropped. I said, oh God, I ain't got time for this foolishness. So Mike, like I told y'all, he ain't no spring chicken. He over here trying to hang on to him. And he was like, don't let me go, pull me up. Don't let me go, pull me up. And I'm like, Lord, he finna die. One of the hands to slip loose. He got blood on him. The woman that cut his wrist, so he already bloody from that. He bloody from his son's blood from where he, was trying to tend to and put compression on the wound. Y'all, it was just too much. Tell me why the son raised up from out of nowhere. He got a second wind and he came over there and helped him up. So, like, some adrenaline came from out of nowhere. Y'all, that movie did the most. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much. So anyway, it got to a point where what ultimately happened was he put the son away, and the son was willing to do the time for his crime. The woman who got away or whatever didn't work out, who was over ammo, since his what's the name for it, the captain, he got killed. He actually was the casualty that Marcus was referring to, and he said, if you go out and you try to pursue this, somebody gonna end up getting hurt. And while he was in the midst of talking to him, that son came from out of nowhere and shot him in the neck, and it hit like a major artery. He bled out, he died. It was so sad. Oh Lord, y'all. So she ended up actually getting promoted to that position, and Marcus came out of retirement. His wife was tired of him anyway. Like, he was at the house tearing stuff up, just doing the absolute most in the way. And she was just like, yeah, you need to get out the house. It was bad. He actually, at the last scene, he went to visit the son, and he was, locked up, and he was like, how you doing? And, whatever. And he was like, what do you think about knocking some of this time off? And so he was like, okay. So he was like, I think I might have something that you can do. Are you up to the challenge? And he was like, sure. So they kind of left it so that it could be set up for something that could be a spinoff or something. Because I don't know if they need to do another Bad Boys of any sort. I think a spinoff in some sort could be really nice, because that son is real nice with it. He is amazing. He's an amazing fighter. He's good with a knife. He's amazing with bullets and guns, all that stuff. So yeah, y'all, that was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this little, recap or highlights video. I enjoyed the movie. I think that if you haven't seen it, that you should go see it. I'm not being sponsored. I do not get paid to make videos at this time. Maybe someday I'll have enough subscribers to do so. I am still nowhere near where I need to be as far as speaking goes. As you see, all the things that I've said and jumbled up as I was making this video, that's just how I do. I am still very nervous, even though I'm not looking at y'all right in your face. It's just how it is for me. Anyway, like this video, comment if you like this movie, if you're gonna go see it, and all that good stuff. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all later on for something else.